our status as a person living with HIV alone. Disclosing that information to someone else can be really like a vulnerable thing to do. So a lot of the time that we accept less than a bare minimum just to be with someone and valued. Maybe there are people out there that still care about us, but we rather than be in a company of a person that will just treat us whatever, especially for trans migrants. This is prevalent for me personally, that at that time I would rather stay in that relationship for a long time because I was just too scared of what if my visa get cancelled? What if my future is just gone and I'll be sent back? And the reality is that's not what happened. I'm really blessed that I can speak English, but many of us don't. You know, I'm a transgender, I'm a migrant, and I'm a person living with HIV. Who is going to accept me as who I am? And that's a lot of us then think, okay, I will just stay with the person for the rest of my life because they can put up with all of these facts. A lot of people living with HIV, they're scared that they can be described as the perpetrator, and then that becomes the different power dynamics, and it always comes to that sort of scenario, which is really sad. If I'm seeking a service, for example, what if like, what's the languages like? Am I going to be understanding all of these languages, or is there any interpreter who will be working with me? Am I going to be too much just to ask for help? If I go to a service and then it's like, I'm dealing with the government, I'm scared if this is going to affect my visa. The idea of what else there when it comes to coercive control, I don't know why, but it's always like, oh, it has to be physical. I personally experience of like, what is it like being in a coercive control relationship? What is it like when someone tells me how I should dress and what kind of job I should do, what sort of study I should learn? And I didn't notice all of that. Now I think about it, I'm like, I have my own autonomy of what I want to do in my life. What scared me at that time is that if I seek help, do I have to tell about my status every single time to a service? On top of that as well, it's that the stigma or shame of like, if I look for service or seek help, then I'm a weak person. When I got out of that relationship, of course, I didn't have a place, and in my head, it's just like any roof over my head would work. So I reached out to services and I got declined from a female cis sort of setting services, and they said, because you're biologically born male, then you should seek refuge to male services. Like, I'm not comfortable with this sort of settings, and everyone is like looking at me. All I want to look is a safety in the first place. Do I need to pay for all this? Are they gonna build me later on in the future? That's what also my worries. In my lived experience, that I had to sleep at a park, I had to like stay up all night and then just like sleep on the train in the morning, and whatever hours sleep I got. A lot of services in this matter, it's very gendered, that it has to be male or female. It doesn't matter of like how you're presenting, but they always look at the birthmark. Each individual of us has resilience within ourselves. That's the reason why I'm here today, because I'm so okay with my identity of what the world has treated me. Yeah, I'm still here showing up each day when the world is pretty much against us. To put that into a perspective, to me, it's like a superhero within itself. The old saying of the street says, we might fight like a pack of alley cats, but when the outside world try to tear us down, this army closes ranks. If you really feel like you need help, there's no shame of seeking help, and there's no shame of having such conversation. We are in this era of open discussion and knowledge about one another, and I think that's what makes it powerful.